You hit send on a calendar invite and poof, it just appears for the other person. But have you ever really stopped to think about what happens in that split second? It feels instant, but behind the scenes, there's this complex, super high-speed journey taking place to make sure everything is on the up and up. So today, we're going to trace that journey together and see exactly how it all works. Right? We all do this every day, probably without a second thought. But there's this whole invisible process that decides if your invite actually gets to see the light of day. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the technical verification that powers our digital calendars. So here's our game plan. First, we'll meet the system's guardian, the digital gatekeeper. Then we're going to crack open its verification toolkit, follow an invite on its wild ride, learn the 3 make-or-break questions it has to answer, and finally, we get to see the big moment it's either approved or denied. All right, so at the very heart of all this is what we can call the digital gatekeeper. Now, this isn't some person in a booth. It's a really smart automated function that acts as the first line of defense for your calendar. So what is it really? Well, in technical terms, the gatekeeper is a piece of automated logic that lives inside the calendar invite server, or CIS for short. Its one and only job is to inspect every single event invitation and confirm it's authorized to go forward. It's all about maintaining the integrity of the system. And this quote just gets right to the point. The entire system is built for one main reason: to stop spam, prevent abuse, and make sure only legitimate invites actually make it through. That simple goal is why this whole process even exists.
Okay, so how does this gatekeeper actually do its job? Well, it doesn't work alone. It uses this really powerful toolkit of services from AWS. Let's open it up and see what's inside.
These are the 4 core components, the team that makes everything possible. You've got Lambda, SQS, DynamoDB, and SNS. Each one plays a really distinct and vital role in this whole verification journey. Let's break down what each one actually does.
Every operation needs a brain, and in this system, that's AWS Lambda. Seriously, this is where all the decision-making code runs. It executes the logic, it performs the checks, and it makes that final call: approve or deny.
But what happens when thousands of invites are sent all at once? Things could get pretty chaotic, right? That's where Amazon SQS, the simple queue service, comes in. You can think of it as a digital inbox. It just neatly lines up all the incoming requests, making sure none get lost and that they're all processed in a nice, orderly fashion. Now, for the brain, Lambda, to make a smart decision, it needs a rulebook to check against. And that's exactly the role of DynamoDB. This database is the system's memory, its single source of truth. It stores all the crucial data, like who the organizer is, their event limits, and any user blocks that Lambda needs to consult for every single check. And finally, once an invite gets the green light, Amazon SNS acts as the messenger. It publishes an approval notification, pretty much telling the next part of the system, hey, this one's good to go, send it out. Okay, so we've met all the key players. Now, let's see them in action by following a single invite on its journey, right from the moment you hit that send button. This whole journey follows 5 key steps. It all kicks off with the trigger from that SQS queue. The system then retrieves all the necessary data from the DynamoDB rulebook. Next comes the most important part, the validation checks. Based on those, a decision is made. And finally, a quick cleanup happens to keep the system tidy and efficient. So that validate step we just mentioned, that is where the real work happens. This is where the gatekeeper gets serious. And to approve an invite, it has to get the right answer to 3 absolutely critical questions. The fate of our little invite request just hangs in the balance right here. It's kind of like a security checkpoint. If it can provide the right answers to these 3 questions, it gets to proceed. But if it can't, its journey ends right here, right now. The first question is all about user consent. The system checks its rulebook, DynamoDB, to see if the person you're inviting has previously blocked you. It's a fundamental check to respect user privacy and preferences. If a block is in place, the invite is stopped immediately. End of story. The second question is all about the sender's reputation. Is the organizer's account in good standing? I mean, if an account has been flagged for spam or other violations and got suspended, the system isn't going to let it send any invites. This protects the entire community of users. And the third question is all about scale. Is this a massive bulk invitation? If so, the system checks if the organizer actually has permission to send invites on this scale and if they're still within their allowed limits. This is a key defense against overwhelming the system or just plain old spam. So, after answering those 3 tough questions, our invite request arrives at its final destination in this process, the verdict. And it's a simple binary outcome: pass or fail. If the answer to all 3 questions was correct, no blocks, active account, and within limits, the request passes. It's approved, and the SNS messenger is notified to send it on its way. But if even one of those checks fails, the request is denied. It doesn't just disappear, though. The failure is logged so developers can debug any issues that might pop up.
And there's one last crucial piece of housekeeping. Once the journey is complete, pass or fail, the original request message is deleted from the SQS inbox. This is so important to make sure the same invite isn't accidentally processed a second time. It keeps the whole system efficient and error-free.
And there you have it. In less time than it takes to blink, this entire journey unfolds. You've got an invisible gatekeeper using a powerful set of tools, asking a series of critical questions to ensure every single interaction on our calendars is safe, authorized, and legitimate. It makes you think, doesn't it? From sending an email to making an online payment, our digital lives are just full of these hidden verification journeys. So the question I'll leave you with is this: what other invisible gatekeepers are working behind the scenes to protect you every day?